that would be fair because I made the request for the past 1.5 years and they've used the excuse of not coming. So I think, and we've all already made the request, I think we need to be firm in what we're asking for them and not to give them loopholes to further disregard my single member district.
Discussion. I would second Commissioner Lewis's request. I think it's very important that every area within ANC 5D be safe. Commissioner Lewis's area has the bulk of the new economic development, and certainly as residents, we want to support that development. I know that a number of my constituents are members of Planet Fitness, they use Ulta and Petco, and they are increasingly nervous about going over there. And I need to hear from MPD what steps they're taking to address Commissioner Lewis's concerns, those of her constituents, and certainly by extension, my constituents and every other neighbor that is in 5D and persons that are visiting our commission area. We need to be safe. When I was chairperson, we had those reports to your satisfaction. Is that right, Commissioner Lewis?
There was a person here.
Yes. Commissioner Lee, there's no reason why we can't continue.
I use Planet Fitness also in the Ivy City Market. My wife and I, we have dinner over there. I go, because Planet Fitness is open 24 hours. I have no problem with safety. I go 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. Whenever the whim that I wake up and want to go and have a workout. And there is a concern when you say safety, then you got some new prostitution at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. But I just wanted to make that statement. As far as safety for us is using Planet Fitness and the Mom's Market, the Hex has their own security that patrols constantly. And so I think it's safe. I don't want it to be known that Planet Fitness is not safe or the area is not safe because, right, it is development. It is safe. It's very safe.
There's a safety concern around this entire community.
But I'm just saying, well, I was making a statement, Commissioner. Can I finish my statement?
We're gonna have one person speaking.
And I was still speaking. And that's all I wanted to make this statement, that it is safe. And, you know, I'm a long-term resident of Trinidad, so I know the difference between unsafe and safe. So that area, I'm very impressed with it. Just like I said, the economic development that's going on there, Commissioner Henderson, that I find the area very safe. I am quite aware that the New York Avenue shelter is there, and it has been there. And also see them at 5 o'clock in the morning getting released on the shelter. So, but they keep that area, they patrol it. I was myself picked up by security, which I got a little insulted because I was sitting there waiting for my wife to come out of Ulta, and the lady asked me why was I sitting on the bench, and I said because I don't go in beauty salons, whatever that thing is. So there's security there. So I just want to let people know that it is safe in that area. Now I saw the prostitutes at the Shell station, and I saw the camping, and I see the raccoon running up the fence. So anything else that just want that area right there when you go to work out, it's safe.
All right, just before I see Commissioner Lewis and Mr. Rudin, I just want to make sure we're all clear that the item we're voting on right now is simply to send a letter to the commander and whoever else we need to send it to, requesting that we get reports of those PSAs. So I think we should probably discuss it to that item. Commissioner Lewis and Mr. Rudin.
I find it very disheartening as the commissioner of 5D01 that, you know, my colleagues are okay with the idea of they can have reports for their constituents. They can have a safe place. However, my developers should be responsible for paying for police detailing, you know, because our safety and livelihood is not important. However, Trinidad is okay. So when I heard your statement, it was quite offensive. We should stand together in terms of if we're going to have reports, there should be a report for every single PSA, not the ones that are more affluent.
I agree with you on that.
All right, Mr. Rudin.
I just don't want to finish what I said. It was unsafe.
My question was the fact that you indicated you made a request, as I'm assuming it means to say we did a chairperson from the commander about having additional, but every officer that associated with whatever district, what has been the commander's response? And you you should know what has been the response to your request. That's what I would like to know at this point.
Right, so as I said earlier, I did not receive a request from him. I've understood that email may not be the best way to get Commander Fitzgerald. That being said, I'm happy to reiterate my personal request to the chief, who's been quite responsive to me, and we can perhaps get a response that way. Again, I did that purely upon request of Commissioner Lewis, because she asked for that. That was feedback I got.
So your answer is
That was
that
feedback I got from Commissioner
he
Lewis.
didn't
and I didn't
respond to
hear
your
back.
request.
My answer is he did not respond to my email, correct?
And is there an additional, that being recognized, was there an additional move on your part to insist that there's a response? Because this is an issue for me in O2, and we're all really saying the same thing. Because, and I second the commissioner there, we should be on one unified, one beat, one voice. And if you made a request and didn't get a response, I would like to know what was the next action. And if it was nothing, I hope that it will be, because I have a problem that it was nothing. We need to insist that there is response to what we need. And if it's ignored, we need to address it. My
Sure,
point.
and just to respond, so again, that email was not something the commission asked me to do. I did that as a courtesy to Commissioner Lewis, and I'm trying to respond to your question. Just as easily as I could have sent that email, any other commissioner could have sent that and followed up as well.
Courtesy is secondary. We like a response.
I would too, but also I'm not in charge of all 7 SMPs. So, just
Well,
don't.
I'm happy to work with
Commander Fitzgerald responds.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm happy to work with you guys. I know that Commander sometimes with emails, but I'm happy to work with you guys. If that's something that you guys hold on to, please let me know you can be on.
Thank you, Commissioner Lewis.
Okay, so since things are courtesies and not requirements, I think we need to be clear on the duties of the chair and the secretary and every other officer on this commission, because things are falling through the cracks. If, as a commissioner, I request something, then it's no longer a courtesy. Someone should follow up on it.
So I think there's a motion on the floor for the secretary to send this letter. I believe that would satisfy. Let me ask that informing question. Does that satisfy your request?
For this request, but I don't want to hear the next request I make, whatever it is, that it's a courtesy, not an actual action. Because as I stated, every time I hear the PSA report, I say, can we have someone from 5D05? If you're only sending courtesies on behalf of my request, then it's not going to be taken seriously. However, if it was a formal document that was written on behalf of the commission, then we probably would have this issue solved, not a year and a half later.
So that's what we're voting on now though, right?
Yes.
Is there any further discussion on this item?
Excuse me, are you voting on the document itself or who's going to prepare the document?
Both.
Well,
Could you restate your motion, Commissioner Lewis?
I'm stating that the Secretary of Commission 5D draft and submit the request to the commander that there is an officer for every PSA within 5D present at every meeting.
Second.
I'm not drafting any letter.
I'm not the secretary. I can't do it anymore. I'm no longer an officer.
And that's fine, but I'm sitting here reading the duties of the secretary, and that is clearly not one of them. And I suggest that you read it, and then you will know. And you were secretary before, and you did that, you did more than you were told.
And that's why I politely said that we need to go over the roles of the officer.
And you should do that, I just did.
Let's see, we're not gonna read
we're-
minutes, we're not gonna send them out, we're not sending
So-
letters.
Commissioner Anderson, thank you very much. So here's what I'm gonna suggest, Commissioner Lewis. So since my PSA was not represented tonight, I'm also happy to send that letter as the chairperson. Would that meet your needs?
It meets the immediate need. However, we're going to face these same challenges unless we go over the duties of all of the officers, which is a big issue at this point.
It is, and I might suggest to the commission that that is something to be taken up at a committee of the whole meeting, and we'd love to have you there. So with that,
Love to have you there.
would you like to change your motion, or would you
All
like
of
me to
you.
restate it?
Honestly, I'm not going to restate my motion because I think the
So I'm gonna move that
secretary
the
should do it.
commission, I'm gonna move that the chairperson sends a letter to Chief Lanier and Commander
There's already a
Fitzgerald
properly seconded
requesting.
motion, moved and second motion on the floor.
Okay, so we'll vote
You
it down.
didn't need to,
That's
you didn't
fine.
need to restate
Okay,
it.
so all four,
Because you're
Commissioner
not going to do
Lewis's
it.
motion, if there's no further discussion, all four Commissioners Lewis's
Solve
motion,
it.
as she stated it, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Alright.
That motion passes. We are done with that item. Next, we're moving on to single member district reports. Starting with SOD 5D01, you have 1 minute, Commissioner Lewis.
I am choosing to skip my 1-minute report since my, single member district members are not present at this meeting, and it's 8:10.
Thank you, 5D02.
So there have been a lot of activity going on in 5D02. Last week, we had a emergency meeting with Councilmember McDuffie, and it was for, crime and prevention and crime safety, and the meeting went very well, and there were residents who came in attendance, and I see some of those residents who are here now, who actually came and were able to share their concerns with Councilmember McDuffie. We have representatives from CSOSA, from DPR, from DGS, MPD, and also the Ward 5 council members' office. Another activity that took place was Trinidad Day. That's been mentioned a couple of times, and I just kind of wanted to, highlight some things that was done in partnership with DPR, with Ward 5 councils, member office, the mayor's office, the Mowers were great, they were out there. And also MPD, there were a host of sponsors that actually gave, and contributed to things. We had about 300 folks in attendance. We had a health fair. There were about 50 plus Zika kits that were distributed by the Department of Health. There were 7 new registered voters, and there were about 8 to 10 people that participated in a job hiring event.
Thank you, Commissioner. For 5D03, my report is quite short, just to save us all time. There are 3 more requests in for 2 locations I've been made aware of. Dumping at 17th and Lang at that house that's under construction, as well as the water leaking out at 1600 block of Mill Street. And that is the end of my report. 5D04.
And my name is Commissioner Bernice Clayton, that is Commissioner 504. On June the 21st, I had a walkthrough, with Mr. Rogers in my whole single member district area, which consists of Carmenters and, Lystoners. And also, I would like to invite y'all to Lyston Day, that will be held on August the 27th from, 10 to 4 p.m. I have some little postcard, flyers. We are going to have a celebrity chef that was, on Hell's Kitchen. His name is JR. He will be there. He will be, catering the activity, and I just would like for everybody to come out and enjoy this. We're supposed to have courses, a variety of different things. We'll be giving away book bags, and some of them are supposed to be stuff.
5D05.
We had fun on National Night Out, as we always do. We partnered with MPD, we saw Star Wars, The Force Strikes Back. We continue to work with MPD to address the public safety concerns. Commander Fitzgerald has been responsive. We've had some break-ins, some public safety concerns. We have extra patrols as a result. We have fixed patrols, and we are continuing to move forward. We just had another movie night this past Friday. We saw the original Ghostbusters, and that was a really nice event. It was very pleasing to see so many children accompanied by their parents attending the movie. And these types of activities make a neighborhood safer, more livable, and certainly more enjoyable. And we are definitely moving forward with making sure that our neighborhood is moving in the right direction. I've had trees, all the tree trimming has been completed in 5D05, and a number of other public safety concerns, and Mr. Rogers is well on the road to redeeming himself with addressing some additional issues. I look forward to continuing to work with him / flog him. No, I retract that. But I look forward to continue to working to make sure that the quality of life for my constituents continues to improve.
Thank you, Commissioner Robinson. 5D06. 5D07.
I already mentioned the block meeting I had for West Virginia Avenue, but just I just been out and about meeting my neighbors this past week, and just still encouraging. I had a few. Oh well, thank you, Ms. Rogers. All the properties that you in my SMD that were inspected, and some were cited. Some are now, like we saw it Saturday, are back up the code, and they're operating the correct way. And to thank Commissioner Shropshire, because we're right next door to each other with Trinidad Day, and Sheena mentioned my assignment of bringing my uncle's pickup truck to bring the grill, which was a task. It was a large grill that we used for the day, but I'm proud of that one because me and my uncle. But we had a great time. I thank you for that. And just good. So we haven't did one since 2011, because I had my last T-shirt from 2011 of Trinidad Day. So it was nice to see the kids out, see the horses out. Little disappointed about we can't use our field anymore, but we'll work on that next year, and we'll expand this thing, hopefully get it right there. And I just, as I walked around this past week, just encouraging neighbors to meet each other, because I was kind of surprised that I just found a family that's been on my block for 6 years, and I just met them 2 days ago. So I'm saying it about me, myself, that we need to know our neighbors, and that's the key in security, knowing who you live next door to, and their goings and comings, and who's in the home, and just being good neighbors, and form your own block organizations. That's the other thing I'm trying to do in my SMD, is get individual blocks to come together, so you can know each other on this meeting. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, your minute.
All right, next we're going to move on to community concerns. This is if everyone has any concerns that have not been addressed here, always saw folks from the mayor's office.